All right, so today we're going to do something a little different. We're sort of turning the lens back on the whole idea of what we do here. We're diving into the promise behind a new way of looking at media, one that wants to cut right through all the noise of geopolitics and just give you clarity. Let's break down how that's all supposed to work.
Does this feel familiar at all? You glance at your phone, you see the headlines, and all of a sudden you feel like you're just drowning in this sea of information. Shifting alliances, crazy economic terms, endless updates. It can feel like it's designed to be overwhelming. And that's really the heart of the issue, isn't it? The world out there feels incredibly complex, and our brains are just trying to keep up, to piece it all together. And that feeling of being completely overwhelmed, that's exactly the problem that needs to be solved. So let's start right there. Section 1, the modern news problem. Why does it all seem so complicated?
And hey, if you feel this way, you are definitely not alone. I mean, we are just bombarded 24/7. The sheer amount of information and how fast it comes at us makes it almost impossible to really get the why behind the what. It's like we're in a constant state of information overload.
But what if there was a better way? And that brings us right to Section 2, a promise of clarity. What's the solution being offered here?
And here is that promise in its absolute purest form. Confused by world news? We explain it simply. Now notice the focus here. It's not about being the first to report something or the loudest voice in the room. It's all about making complex stuff understandable. That one word, simply, well, that's the entire mission.
So, okay, how do you actually do that? Let's take a look at Section 3, the explainer's method. It really boils down to a few really important principles.
The first rule is simple: no shouting. This is a flat-out rejection of that 24-hour news model that so often relies on outrage and drama to keep you watching. The goal here is totally different. It's about calm, clear-headed analysis, not just more noise. Second, no propaganda. Now this one's huge. It's a commitment to explaining events without trying to push you toward one specific viewpoint. The focus is on giving you the pieces of the puzzle so that you can form your own informed opinion instead of just being sold one. And third, no complex jargon. This is all about making information accessible. The core idea here is that you shouldn't need a PhD in international relations just to understand the major forces that are shaping our world. It's about using plain language to make big ideas crystal clear.
So you take those three things together: no shouting, no propaganda, and no jargon. And what are you left with? Well, you get a direct path to genuine understanding. It's a process designed to respect both your time and your intelligence.
Now, a clear method is great, but what about the actual content? That leads us to Section 4, covering the globe. Let's talk about the scope of the topics.
And the scope really is global. We're talking about major policy decisions coming out of Washington and Brussels, that big chess match between global powers, the difficult realities of war and diplomacy, and of course, the economic currents that connect it all. So, what's the end result of all of this? Let's move on to our final section, Section 5, your informed takeaway. What is the real value in this for you?
This is the core framework. It's a simple but really powerful three-step process. First, what is actually happening? Just the basic facts. Then, the most important question: why does it matter? And finally, what could it all mean for the future? This structure is designed to take you from just knowing facts to gaining real insight. And this is the transformation. You go from being caught in the chaotic storm of the daily news cycle to, well, it's like having a telescope to see what's coming over the horizon. It's the difference between reacting to the news and starting to actually anticipate the patterns that are shaping it. And it all leads to this right here: informed insight. It's about graduating from being a passive consumer of headlines to an active, informed observer. It's that critical shift from just knowing what happened to truly understanding why it matters and what could happen next. And so we'll end on this thought. In an age that is just defined by noise and speed, what is the real value of having a clear, unbiased, and simple way to understand the complex world we all live in? That's a question really worth thinking about.